And we're back for another episode. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's been a long time since you've heard us speaking, and you're probably thinking, when is the next episode coming out? But we're here, and I just want to warn you, you might want to put your volume down because we have the yeller in the studio. Who do we have here today?
This is B.
She says it all shyly, but in 5 minutes I'm going to say something and she's going to get up and yell at me.
I don't do that.
How are you today, B?
I'm good.
You're good?
Mm-hmm.
That's great to hear. I know we've all been very busy adulting, and
yeah.
How has the adulting been treating you? Ugh.
Yeah.
It says so much with so little.
An eye roll can explain everything. Just my eye roll.
This is when we need the video. We need to see those eye rolls. We're going to make you into a GIF.
If eye rolling was a sport, I'd win the gold.
Yeah, it's true. See, so we're back on the expressions. You do make all these faces. Yeah, so this is your third episode in a row.
Is it?
Yeah. And last week, episode 28, I believe it was our first one where we had more than 2 people. And we had a group podcast. How was like making that?
It literally felt like we were just having a regular conversation. It did not feel any different. There was just a mic there.
Yeah, and I know in terms of the technical stuff, like we know we need to improve some stuff, but it was really fun. Mm-hmm. And immediately I realized I need to play moderator because there was times where I was just starting conversations and you guys were taking it away. And I was like leaning back trying to make sure it's recording good. But I was like, damn, I need to cut in. We need to change this conversation. But it was really fun.
I agree.
Yeah, and we got to see expressive B again when you were defending yourself on Elias commenting on your driving.
Well, when I listened to that episode, when he called me a bad driver, I remember when we were recording it, you said that we were going to listen to it, and then we never did, right? Yeah. So when I did listen to it, I was at home and I was cooking. And when I heard him say that he called me a bad driver, I literally dropped my jaw and I slowly turned towards my phone. I was like, how dare you?
I can picture you like dropping a plate or like a utensil.
I was like, oh my gosh,
and that's exactly what so on that episode where what Beatrice and I are talking about is that episode where it was 2 segments. It was Elias and then Beatrice. Elias mentioned her driving and he was poking fun at it. And I wanted Beatrice to listen to the episode first and kind of like respond. But we didn't we didn't have time to do that. We were like talking and eating and stuff. But that was very interesting. And another thing, last week we officially started TikTok recording.
Yes.
That was very, very interesting. And before we get into that, let's plug that. So my sister, Daisy, as she introduced herself last week as the Guppy, she made the TikTok for us. It is under Savages Unscripted 6 because apparently someone took our damn name from us, but I guess that's fine. But we're under Savages Unscripted 6. We have a video up already. Daisy's going to periodically post some other stuff. We recorded quite a bit that day.
Yeah, it felt like a lot.
That was a very busy day. It was fun, but then you realize like the work you actually put into this and
the equipment that we need.
Yeah, we're messing around with lots of equipment, lighting, we're moving around the room, we're moving stuff so we can be in certain locations, and that was really interesting. And I think you just notice like these YouTubers and stuff, the things they do, like there's work behind it, the behind the scenes, there's actual preparing and script writing, and yeah. But that first, did you see the TikTok video that Daisy put up already?
No.
Does anybody in this company watch our own stuff?
Okay, no, it's okay. Like
I sent you the link.
Is that the one? Okay.
Wow.
Well, here's the thing. Look. Hold on.
Okay, I'm looking.
Okay. So I don't use TikTok. I don't use Twitter. So it's like because I don't use this on my own time. Like it feels weird that I have to do it on like. Yeah. Now I have to use it. That's why it feels weird because I'm not used to using it. So I should probably have a TikTok. Is it the app, right?
So what's cool is you don't need to make a TikTok to view this stuff. It's not like, oh, you got to make an Instagram to view Instagram material. It's not like that. Okay. You can just download the app and just boom, search and look up the name every time.
I don't want to download something that's going to take more of my time because
I understand.
I do spend quite a bit on time on Instagram, and that's not my own fault because I have no self-control. But that's why I don't have all these other stuff, because I'm afraid that I'm gonna spend more of my time on this.
Okay, you probably shouldn't download TikTok then. But I mean, you have access to our files. That's where we're posting.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's all on there. So we're on TikTok already, you guys. And because like I post like funny stuff on my Instagram, and I was like, fuck it, I'm making my own TikToks. I mean
Oh, is that what you did with the wings?
Yes.
Oh.
So I'm still learning the ways of TikTok, and that's going to be very interesting. But at first, what's funny is I think when we don't understand something, we tend to see it maybe negatively or be more overly critical of stuff. So for example, TikTok, when I was working with kids, that's where I found out about TikTok. And in my mind, it was kind of like Fortnite. Like, it was just the kids talking about it. So I'm like, I don't want anything to do with it. And so for the longest time, I kept hearing, oh, TikTok, check out TikTok, make a TikTok. And I was like, that's you guys, your generation. But don't give me that look, okay? But anyway, what I'm saying is I probably perceived it negatively, or I didn't give it a shot. But now that we're working it.
Yeah, we're part of it now.
Now I'm seeing it. Like, now I have to give it a shot. And it's very, very interesting. And you saw how Daisy was like telling us, like, I got this idea, let's do this, you do this. And it was just very like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen videos of it on Instagram, and that's how I learned about it. But it did just look like another Vine thing. Yeah,
but I think mostly with music, I don't really watch TikTok either. I watch our TikTok. Savages Unscripted 6, you guys. Look it up. That's the only one I'm following. Yeah, but so there's that. And another official announcement. We mentioned a few weeks ago that Beatrice, not only is she a part of Savages Unscripted, the team, but she's also taken over the social media. And we were slowly doing that. And now it's official. You're running the Instagram. So I like what you've been doing already. I can see a little bit of a difference.
I mean, it just started, so.
It just started, but that's what matters. That's how a process starts. At the beginning, I know you've mentioned with, being into Instagram in a certain way and curating stuff and having it a little thematic. So you must see social media more in the business aspect of things, huh?
Yeah, because I've always used like the analytics part of it when you have a business account. So you can see the analytics, and I follow a lot of people who do make money off of Instagram. So I look at what they do too and try to, I guess they're my inspiration and they give me ideas of what I could do. Not only for Savages Unscripted, but for my own Instagram, because I would like, one day to be
Instagram famous.
Not for the fame.
Okay.
Like I'm not into that. Like Instagram, you're putting everything on.
It's like a blog.
I'm not saying this right. Like there is no privacy.
Yeah.
Okay, you're basically putting your life out there for anybody to see if your profile is public. So I don't even know where I'm going.
It's okay. And so I'll take it from there just in case. And if you regain your thought, you can jump right in. But that's how it is for me too. And there was a while ago where I was like, you know what? Should I have a private account? But I was using it it was officially a business account. So you can't make that a private thing on Instagram. Once it's a business account, you cannot have it as a private account. So I was like, okay, well, the reason I'm doing this, Al wanted me to do this too because, and I'm not saying this in a cocky way, but I had more followers because you need a certain amount of followers to make it a business account. I don't know what the number is, the quota, but so we started using mine for that. So we're both using mine to market our podcast. And then from there, when that grows, we're growing that too. But it's interesting when you start seeing it that way, because I think you notice a lot of people just posting so much. And maybe some people don't really worry about what they put out there.
Ooh.
But then once you're a public figure,
you need to be careful about what you put.
Yeah.
Because here, let me take this off. I feel like I'm making noise.
No, it's okay.
So I think I've mentioned a couple of times where I watch creepy videos on YouTube. Well, I watched one about Instagram specifically. And personally, this girl was just dumb because she put her address on Instagram. And I was like, girl, come on. And because she put her address on Instagram, somebody found her and they went inside their house. And who knows what could have happened. Luckily, this person got away. But don't put your address on Instagram or Facebook or anywhere. You don't know.
Yeah, some people, you just really got to be careful. Not just that, but if you're going to a professional field, and I still see people, people on my friends, and this concerns me when I see people still posting they're in high school and they haven't, if anything, they've grown less and they've de-aged, and you can see it in the way they post and the kind of material. And I'm just like, come on, you guys, we're reaching into our late 20s. Why are we still talking like we're 17?
Late 20s?
I'm branching into it. I'm 26. Well, not all of us are 24.
You don't even know how old I am?
24.
That's not even... No.
So anyways, Daisy called us a boomer last week. All of us boomers.
Dude, Aima's face was just, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know she wanted to say something.
In case anyone didn't listen, last week we had our first kind of live audience. We had a friend who last minute didn't want to be a part of the podcast, so she was just watching and listening, and her facial expressions, wow, they were just anger. Just anger and disappointment. So Beatrice didn't know that my sister was so young, and when Daisy said she was the class of 2017, I think she said.
Yeah.
All of us just, like, that's just, wow. I'm 2012, and to me that's still pretty...
You were 2012?
Yeah. The one thing Beatrice will always laugh at is my age and stuff pertaining to that.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
I wasn't even laughing.
What?
No, okay, stop. But yeah, so you're on the social media, and that's great. I like that. Now we're each getting more defined roles. And one thing I did want to say, I didn't tell you. I didn't tell any of you guys. I told somebody else, not a part of the podcast, but...
You didn't tell your team?
All right, you know what? My team didn't even watch the TikTok video. So.
I watched it when you sent it to me.
So what's funny is, first I told Elias, because Daisy put it in the group chat, I'm releasing this episode. And I was the only one that responded, but it was late. So I was like, okay, they're going to see it in the morning. And like 2 days later, I told Elias, did you see the video? And he was like, what video? Is it out already? And I was like... I think I sent him the link too. Like 2 days after that, I told Jesse, the newest member, and his same response, the video's out already? I was like, there's anybody in this fucking company watching our videos. No. I wasn't actually angry, but I just think it's funny. But we did say we were going to post it on TikTok, but we're going to eventually repost it on the other stuff.
I don't think any of us besides Daisy uses it. So I think that's why we're like...
I use it too. I have to be organized. I have to make sure we're all on task. But
that's so funny.
That's why now what I started doing, because like my life got recently slightly busier in some ways because of my new job, and I can't have my phone with me. And I think you noticed this too. Whenever I'm about to clock in, I'll bombard you guys with information. Yeah. And it's just more so like in case they have a question and I can't get back to them, like I need them to know. And I've done it specifically with you. I remember there was one day. So what I mean is, I think there was a day where Beatrice was asking me about social media and how we run the Instagram. And I was telling her, this is what we do, this is what we do. And I was giving her more and more information. And I was like, these are my ideas, these are my ideas. And then she told me she was feeling overwhelmed.
You sent like 12 texts.
It was
in like
7?
the span of like 5 minutes.
First of all, it was 7. Okay. And it was like 10 minutes.
Okay.
No, and it wasn't that. It was, and I specifically told you, this isn't stuff we need done right now. This is more big picture and the ideas down the line. But I told her too, I'm about to go to work. In case anyone can't reach me, I don't want them to be confused. I'd rather have too much information than not enough. That's the way I see it. Come on. What if you need to do something and you're like, oh, what did he say? I didn't ask about this. Well, now you have all this proliferation of information right in front of you, you know? You might not need all this, but you can go back as a guide. I'm trying to be organized, okay?
I'm giving him a look.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I always bring attention to that. You get mad at me, but now you're finally accepting it.
If I go silent, it's because I'm giving him a look.
Yeah, but for once I have my phone on. That's not good. That's not very professional of me. But... something I wanted to talk about is Pancake Tuesday coming up. You're the one that told me about Pancake Tuesday.
Oh, National Pancake Day. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Whatever. Okay. So it's actually a thing called Shrove Tuesday. Huh? And let me go get more into it. So it's a thing more so, I think, in the UK and Australia from what I was reading. In Canada, I think parts of Canada, they call it Shrove Tuesday. I don't know what Shrove means. But here they call it National Pancake Day. Or, to what people more commonly associate it with, Mardi Gras.
Oh,
Fat Tuesday. Oh, now you know. Okay. But that's what it is. And I don't know why it's specifically the Pancake Day. I guess some people, they're going to feast on pancakes specifically. But Mardi Gras.
I would love to go to New Orleans and just experience Mardi Gras there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so funny that you mentioned that because I was just watching a video on Louisiana culture because last night I was watching an old Scooby-Doo movie and I don't know.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Was it the zombie one?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was the zombie one. If you're a 90s kid, you know what movie I'm talking about. And if you liked Scooby-Doo, you know what movie I'm talking about.
That was the best Scooby-Doo movie.
And so I was watching it, right? And they're in Louisiana. So I was like, I started getting curious about it. And I had a friend she was a roommate and she was Creole.
No way.
Yeah. And whenever her mom would come over, like sometimes they would make like jambalaya.
Uh-huh.
And it just like all these little thoughts started going into my head. So I started watching videos about it. And then I started watching like why some people have like a French accent and like voodoo and all that stuff. And it's such a rich culture.
Oh, it is.
But I would love to go there, but I've heard that one of the biggest attractions there is to stay like in haunted hotels. And I would love to visit, just not in a haunted hotel.
What? That's where the attraction is.
No.
That's the cool thing.
And I think there's one where I guess there was like a New Orleans serial killer. And I forgot what the name of him was, but he specifically used an axe to do his dirty work. But yeah, I would love to go there.
You know who is? Oh, I'm not gonna say favorite murderer. It sounds weird, but the Scranton Strangler.
Oh gosh. Okay.
He's real.
Wasn't he Toby?
Have you seen those videos? Those conspiracy videos?
No, there's conspiracy videos?
From what I remember, I haven't seen one of these videos in a long time, but when those killings really started happening, whatever, those attacks, was when he left to Costa Rica. It was when he left, and then he was suddenly a big part of the
investigation. He was like on the jury or something.
And he was the one that would always bring it up. And there were some other little clues too, and his huge like admiration for Pam.
Yeah.
And there was like in this video, like of course I don't think it was intentional, but there's these little things in it that's just like, what?
Like, wait, so there's a conspiracy saying that he's the Scranton Strangler?
Yeah, I'll show you after. It's very interesting. Like I actually saw it and I was like, wow, that wasn't a bad video. Like,
Are there more conspiracy theories about The Office?
I think, of course, a big one is the fact that Creed is so mysterious and so sketchy. There's some.
I
Creed.
love it.
Do you remember the Halloween scene?
No.
He shows up to work full of blood.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, my gosh.
It's Halloween. That's a coincidence.
Yeah. He got lucky. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh. The Office.
I was watching one where I think Toby is doing like he's showing them like how to defend themselves if something were to happen or something. And I remember Green just like gets up, he smacks the back of someone's head and he yells and he just runs away. And I could not stop laughing.
I just love his little line. Because there's times where you forget he's on the show. Mm-hmm. He comes out like maybe every other episode. But he always has those one-liners that are so weird.
Do you actually know all of the jobs of all of the characters there? Like they legitimately have jobs there. Like what their titles are?
Yeah.
Do you know?
And they're very separated by their departments too. Yeah. Like they're very specific on
like
that.
Angela...
the accounting, the accounting staff, Kevin and
Oscar. It was Oscar.
Okay.
But who was the redhead? That's not Pam.
Pam wasn't a redhead.
Pam's a redhead.
Pam's not a redhead.
She's a redhead.
You know of Erin?
No, Pam is a redhead.
Pam is not a redhead.
Want to make a bet? Coffee. Starbucks. Coffee? Yes.
All right, so you're saying Pam is a redhead.
Yes, I'm saying that she's a redhead.
Are people going to like tweet this? Like, no, I don't trust people. So are we going to look this up? Am I going to Google? I'll Google search this right now. Do it. All right. Pam,
I'll be waiting with my coffee.
Beasley. Okay. Is Pam Beasley
Why do you
spelled it wrong?
Why do you have to put her whole name?
Well, there's other Pams out there.
Okay.
See, you're resting on that, huh? You want some other Pam to pop up. Yes, what you want.
Just keep typing.
Is Pam? Don't tell me what to do. I'm just kidding. Is Pam Beasley a redhead? They didn't spill, right?
Mm-mm.
And we're talking about Pam, not the actress. Wait, they're
the same person.
Wait, okay. According to this is a post on Reddit.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
This is a post on Reddit.
Why can't you just look at a picture?
Does Pam Beasley have red hair? I don't know if this has been asked on here before, but my friend and I have been arguing about this topic for years.
Gosh.
Really? You argue this topic? This is wow.
What are we doing right now?
Somebody commented, does Stanley have a mustache? Does he? Somebody said no. Nope, it's light brown. See,
she's a redhead.
I don't think she's a redhead. I think her hair ranges from light brown to dirty blonde. That's exactly what I was thinking too. Okay, so we're gonna
look at her hair.
But how do you know that's a photo of her on The Office? I'm not looking for what's Jenna Fisher. We're talking about Pam. Are you talking about the actress? You're giving me looks.
I'm not being specific.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking. That is not red hair.
She's a redhead.
That is not. Okay, maybe they're in the lighting.
That's like strawberry blonde, and strawberry blonde
looks nothing like red.
Is like no, that's a redhead. She's a redhead.
That is not red.
Okay, I think we can settle this afterwards.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is you saying I might be losing.
No.
I need more research after. I literally pulled up Google for this. This is a serious.
It looked like you used Bing.
All right.
Oh my God, dude, I'm pretty sure you used
All right.
Bing.
Well, damn.
Did you really use Bing?
I'll go to Google. Why are you judging my
wait.
use of Bing? It is Bing. Damn. Okay. I'm using a Google product. I'm sorry. Windows. Microsoft. All right. So Pam Beasley.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
It matters.
No, it doesn't.
I'm gonna win. Just give me a look. All right. Where are we? Okay, and we're back. So we're mostly sure that she's a redhead. And we're going to find this out after. But wait, so I have a serious question.
Okay.
Are you getting me coffee after this episode? Okay.
I'm pretty sure you already know what I like, so you're going to get me my coffee.
Oh, man, so much confidence. I already owe you wings.
Let's just keep it. We'll create a list of things that you owe me now. What?
No, I'm giving a look. But anyway, so we were talking about Mardi Gras, but this leads into Lent or Ash Wednesday. And I don't want to get into religion, but whenever I think of Lent, I think of that whole idea, which isn't really religious anymore, but the idea of sacrificing something. Are you a religious person?
No.
Okay. Have you ever done Lent? I don't know if your family's. Okay. So, have you ever given up something for Lent?
Yes. At one point, I think I was addicted to soda because I could not give it up. And it took me like 3 tries, like 3 times of Lent that it took me.
3 times of Lent? 3 different
years?
3 times of Lent?
It took me 3 times to actually stick it out through the whole time.
Lent is what, a month and a half?
I don't know. But I gave up soda, and I didn't drink soda after that period. And the only reason I started drinking it again was because I was dating someone who always drinks soda, and I was like, I just fell back into it. But now, I decided that I was giving up soda, but on my own. Mm-hmm. And it's been a couple weeks, and I've only had one can in a couple weeks, so I feel pretty good about it.
And you mentioned that too on the podcast, that you don't really drink soda anymore because you want to be healthy. I'm not going to say trying to be healthy because I know what it's like when you tell me you're trying to work out, you're trying to stay fit. Anyway, so I've always seen people post oh, I'm giving up religion. They're trying to be funny. I'm giving this up. But I think I like the idea of Lent, of giving up something that you probably know you might be addicted to. And I've had, so there was a point where my few aunts in my family were really into Facebook. And they're always posting, and they're really this back when Farmville was a thing. My family was doing, I wasn't doing it, but they were doing Farmville, and they were really into all these invites, and they were always on Facebook. And I remember I had one aunt that she wanted to give that up, and she wanted to pick something up. So she picked up the gym, and instead of Facebook, she was going to the gym. She lost a lot of weight. She got in shape, and it was weird not seeing her post because, it's something that she did a lot. So I think in some aspects, it could be a good thing doing
Yeah,
Lent.
I think that's a really smart idea. Instead of giving up something, to pick something up for 6 weeks, you said?
I think so I have it on my notes right here. So it starts, Ash Wednesday's on February 26th, and it ends April 11th. So a month and a half. That's not bad. So if you're giving up soda. That's actually really good.
I think I might do that then.
Non-religiously, just try to partake in Lent.
Try to do something else. I buy books and then I never read them. So I remember I think I told you a while ago that I had bought books and I was trying to read them, and then now I don't read them. They're on my pile of other books that I bought that I haven't read.
I think the good thing, though, because there's people that want to do something and they want to stop something, is admitting it. Admitting, I haven't been doing this, or I stopped, or, and I have been occasionally asking, have you been going to the gym? And I like that you're honest. The other day you told me that you force yourself to. I think that's what you said. Like, you don't want to go, but you force yourself. And it's not always going to be easy. We've talked about social media. You see these highlights. You see the people flexing and they lost all this weight and they gain all this muscle. But
like to those people, they don't, I know a lot of those people do really enjoy the exercise, but they have their days too where they don't want to go. And I've seen videos of these people and they're like, yes, there are days I don't want to go, but they force themselves to go. And that's discipline. And that's what I did yesterday. And I was so proud of myself that I did actually go, even though I did not want to go. I really pushed myself. And I'm like, just thinking about it, I was like, I don't know. I was supposed to go today too, but I didn't push myself.
But you admit it though.
Yeah.
And I well, you know, our listeners don't know you personally, but I know your passion for being clean and fit. And you mentioned too, like, you don't want to drink anymore. That's something we've all kind of cut. Everyone here, actually.
Yeah.
And we're not even doing it as a group. So that's very interesting. I had one drink in 2020 and it was a White Claw.
I'm trying to think. Oh, I had one beer a few weeks ago and it was a Corona and that was it. Wow. Yeah.
Compared to who I was in college, I like this progress I've done.
Well, I don't normally drink anyway, but it's social drinking. Yeah. Like, everybody social drinks. So even deciding to just drink water when you're out with your friends, like, I think that's a good little step. And it saves you money.
I think it's the stigma that hurts too, because I think there are times where people feel like, my friends are drinking, I have to drink. And inside you probably don't want to, but you don't want to be left out. And I have friends like this. I haven't hung out with some of these people in a while, but it would annoy me when, I think we've talked about this, when you don't want to drink. Maybe you're going to be driving, or maybe you just don't feel like drinking anymore. And someone says like, oh, hey, don't be a bitch. That annoys the hell out of me. Yeah. Like, really, like, I have to take your comments so you can feel good about drinking. Yeah. You just don't want to drink alone. I don't know. It's just very sad. Yeah. But this is becoming a very deep podcast. Something I wanted to talk about is self-care. Not specifically self-care, but finding time for it in our busy schedules. How are you doing that? Because I know right now you are busy.
Well, there's different types of self-care. You know, it's not just, it's more than just physical and mental. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, just because it's going to vary from person to person, because it all depends on what makes them feel good, you know? And like, for me personally, like, I just like to have downtime. Downtime for me is my self-care. Like, I don't know if anybody else does this, but like, maybe once a week I'll have like a super extra long hot shower, or like a bath. And like, I'll use like face masks and oils and like candles, like, to really pamper myself. That's me time. And that makes me feel better. Like, I'm actually treating myself to something. So that's my kind of self-care. For somebody else, I don't know, maybe it's like to go out for a movie, to watch a movie, you know, like, that can be somebody else's self-care. I think it just depends on the person. Yeah, I think for me, it's more so doing things that you don't have to do. There isn't a deadline. There isn't if I don't do this, I'm gonna get in trouble. I think when you're focusing on those things in work, like, you know, you're working. Yeah. I think you need time to not work. Yeah. And that's why now I'm trying to edit podcasts sooner. I'm trying to do podcasts sooner. And I was telling you guys this, let's do this sooner, because last Sunday was very busy. We were recording all day. And after we were editing and doing more work, and luckily I didn't work the next day. But I realized that day, I was like, you know what? We need healthcare in our company. Oh, gosh. And it's very important. And I realized that. And I told Elias and I told everybody already, from now on, let's try to record, because we release Mondays. I said, let's try to record Friday or Saturday. If we do Sunday, let's shorten the episode. Like, let's really shorten it. Elias and I have had, I think our shortest was a 20-minute episode once. And I think it's just one of those things where you need to put yourself first. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I know you want to achieve something, and, you know, you really push yourself, but don't let it get in the way of your health physically or mentally, you know? Yeah. You want to have energy to do those things. You want to keep the passion for it too. Yeah. You don't want to make it feel like work and exhaust yourself for it. I love that we all have that passion for this project. Something I was going to bring up, but I forgot, was, so I think it was Sunday. Or maybe Saturday. I think you were here. No, you were here Sunday and Monday, or you were Saturday and Sunday? No, I was here Sunday and Monday. Okay, but one of those days, after we recorded and we did stuff, we were all in the main room, and we were all doing work on the podcast.
And I noticed that there was a point where I was editing. So it had to been Sunday then, because I was editing. I could not edit on a Monday. So I'm editing. Elias was doing some stuff with video. You're doing social media stuff. Daisy was like doing some scripts. And we were all doing this work on the podcast. And I remember looking at you guys, and I was proud. I had a tear of joy. But I remember that because in the beginning, like I said, it was just, and we repeat this a lot, but it was just me and Alan. It was very unofficial. It was just record podcast, me edit, boom, don't think about it for the rest of the week until we do it again. And now we're putting in work in those days. And now I'm trying to better differentiate how I'm doing each day. Like I'm trying to do a thing where the day of the release of a podcast, I don't want to deal with the podcast. I don't want to do any editing. I don't want to do any planning. I just want to enjoy my day. It's already recorded. It's already out there. Why do I have to work? But self-care is very important. And you mentioned face mask. We should do a face mask night one day.
Yes, I would love that. There's different flavors.
I've made one before.
A face mask?
Yeah. It was the last time I was an RA. And I'm that person where if I'm in a job, I try to really get to know the people. And I was only there for a few months. I was like, I want to do this as best as I can. And there were some residents that they would talk to me a lot. And I was like, I want to do something that they like doing. And it was like 2 guys and like 5 or 6 girls, like really weird, loud bunch, very nerdy kids. They're really good kids though. And they told me on occasion they like doing face masks. And they were joking around every one day. They're like, oh, Hector, yeah, you should do a face mask one day. I was like, all right, I'm down. And they're like, what, really? And I was like, yeah. And I was working 3 jobs that quarter. And one day I got out of class at 10 p.m. And I went there and they were waiting for me. And I was like, all right, let's do this. So we were making the face masks, whatever the material, whatever it is. And yeah, we did face masks and we were just playing Mario Kart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We were just there. Chill. We were chilling in the restroom. They were doing the face mask and like a few of the girls were shaving their legs. We were just chilling.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
But in that moment, I was like, let me try to do something that these people like. I think at times that's the best way to get to know people.
Yeah.
See what they like. See what kind of music they're into.
I keep thinking of this thing. And so remember how Elias was talking about how the audience should be picking mine and his name? So I was thinking about it, and you're going to have to beep this out because...
He told me about a nickname.
Okay, well, I think that if we had let the audience pick my name, it would be beep.
You want me to beep
that?
No,
you want to... Yes.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be called beep.
So what's funny is, I'll you know what? Hold on. Give me a beeper now.
Beep, beep.
Give me a longer one.
Beep.
All right, there's a new sound effect. So the other day, Elias told me about the nicknames, and he said, Beatrice said she would like to be called this.
I never said that.
I don't know. I
never said that.
I half listened to him in the mornings.
Oh my God.
But he mentioned this name, or did he come up with it?
No, I told him that. I told Elias.
Then if you brought it up, you want to be called it.
No, I did not say that.
Then why'd you bring it up?
I said I would, if the audience were to pick my name, it would be this.
Why? That's you choosing it. That's not
I didn't choose it. I feel like that's what they would choose.
Why would they give you that name?
I don't know. I imagine my brothers, and like my brothers, like they sometimes like they'll say that, and I'm just like, oh, like
they call you that?
Sometimes.
Are your brothers 90% of our audience?
No.
I never would have thought of that nickname.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, no, but what's funny is I thought you wanted it.
No.
So I was like, it's either that or Elias. But it's probably Elias. And as soon as he told me that name, I was like, nope, we're not calling her that. You can ask him too. I'm like, no, I don't want to change your nicknames. We're already cemented. We've had you since episode 12. It's been, no, we're not rebranding. The one thing we can change is I'm not Stalin anymore. I'm
Why?
Dr. Hector.
But you have a picture.
I can make me some other pictures. Put me in a doctor's lab coat.
I thought of little characters, but for pillows.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like think of like a little Hello Kitty pillow, like characters like that. There's a show that I watch on Netflix. It's called Disenchantment, and I kind of like it. It reminds me, like the graphic style reminds me of Futurama, and I love Futurama.
I think it's the same writers.
I don't know, but Futurama is like one of my favorite shows.
I love Futurama.
And if you've seen Disenchantment, you know Lucy. and Lucy's the little demon. And I was like, if he was a stuffed toy, I would so buy him. He's like a little demon, but he's so cute and tiny. And they call him the cat. Like, they call him a cat in Disenchantment. And I think about my cat, and I feel like I should have adopted a black cat, because black cats actually get euthanized more often than other cats, and I think it's really sad. And I thought about it, like, I should have adopted a black cat, but it turns out that my mom is like weirdly afraid of black cats.
What?
I was like, my mom's religious. I don't know why it freaks her out, but she says that she doesn't like the fact that all you see is their eyes.
Oh, that'd be more of a superstitious thing.
Well, that's what I think too, but I feel like she doesn't want to admit it, but that's what I think.
Okay.
And she said that if I would have brought a black cat home, she would have had a fit. Like, she would have told me to kick the cat out. Like,
wow.
Yeah. But I should have adopted a black cat.
My cat is black.
Really?
He's black, and it looks like he has a little bow tie. He has white fur right here. Yeah. So when we first got him, for like a long time, he didn't have a name. My mom wanted a name, but I was the one taking care of him, and he was sick, and I was always the one that was with him. And I remember telling my mom, I'm going to name him Cornelius.
I like that.
And my mom was like, no, you're not naming him Cornelius. That's my cat. And I was like, Mom, I'm the one taking care of it. Like, he was sick. I was the one that was feeding him and all that stuff and taking care of him. So I made it a habit, because I know some cats are they don't like to be carried. A lot of cats. So every time, like, we had him in the restroom, we had to have him away from the other cats. And every time I went in the restroom, I would always pick him up and I'd carry him. And I'd be like, Cornelius.
Trying to reinforce the name.
No, but I would always do it. And whenever he hears Cornelius, like, he turns. Yeah, he turns. But my mom would not let me name him Cornelius. So one day I was like, I proposed a name, because he's more of maybe like a very dirty brown. He's looking a little less black nowadays. But I told her, like, well, he looks a little bit like a raccoon. Let's call him Rocket. Like from, Guardians of the Galaxy. And so his name is Rocket. I still call him Cornelius. Whenever she does it, like, if you ever go and you see my cat say, where's Cornelius, my mom will get mad and she'll give me a look.
I don't want her to get mad at me.
She'll give me a look.
Oh.
Yeah. My mom's very expressive too. You've met her. She's an interesting woman.
She's very nice.
Yeah, she is. She's very nice. She's also very, very social. Maybe a lot more social than I am.
I'm glad that she remembers my name and not Tobias's.
She forgets everybody's name.
Not me.
I was dating a girl for 3 years and she did not know her name.
How does that even happen?
I don't know. I think she got her name eventually after we broke up. She was like, oh, how's... Beep. But I'll put your beep right there. And I was like, oh, we broke up like 2 months ago. And she was like, I just learned her name. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not bringing her back.
She's like, you made it such an inconvenience for her.
Oh, 3 years of work. Yeah, but so another something I wanted to talk about was, so finding a passion or some sort of project or something. Ukulele. Now here's an example. You're learning ukulele and you're putting in work. And I'm sure in the beginning it seems like work because you're learning. And I remember learning an instrument, but how do you make it fun?
I think you mentioned this. It's like after the learning curve. Like once you know a little bit of stuff, then you start to enjoy it because it's not as hard. So I think you just have to pass the learning curve and don't give it up until you know a little bit of something. Yeah.
There is this kid I was teaching guitar. He's in 6th grade. And I was teaching very, very basic stuff. And like now he's going to be learning on his own. So I told him, like, you know what? I learned by myself on YouTube. I gave you the basics. I think you're in good hands. And and you know what? I learned when I was like 14. He's 11.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
He's learning younger and he's been told what to learn. And I told him, you know what? When you're learning on your own, I don't mean to scare you, but it is going to be hard and it is going to be annoying and it might be boring. But once you get past that and you memorize this stuff, it's going to work out. And I told him, like, honestly, you might be better than me because if you're learning so young, what's that called when someone learns something at a young age and they become really good?
I don't know.
A prodigy. Isn't that what a prodigy is?
I thought a prodigy is just someone who's naturally good at it at a young age.
That's what I just said.
You said learn it, though.
No, when you become good at a young age.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know the legit tip.
You're wrong, Hector. Here's what it is. It's the exact same thing you said.
I don't think that's what happened.
No, that is what happened. Okay. But yeah, I think that's a tough thing when you learn something and it's something that needs work, but finding the fun in it.
I know this is gonna sound weird, but like you helped me find the fun in it because I got the ukulele.
I remember when you got it.
Yeah, it was years ago.
Ages ago.
And I learned a little bit back then, but I I never played it over the years. I like randomly would pick it up. But it wasn't until recently that I was trying to learn. Mm-hmm. And I think I've never played this consistent before. And I feel good about it.
You probably think I'm just trying to be nice when I say this. But so a while ago, I mentioned this briefly. I made you a bet for you to learn Here Comes the Sun. Mm-hmm. But you chose Here Comes the Sun.
Yeah.
And on guitar, that's a tough song. I don't know how it is on ukulele. But I'm not saying that I didn't expect you to learn it, but it just, I was going through a lot, so I kind of forgot about it. Mm. And then you bring your uke like near the end of December, and you mentioned that again in the bet, and you start playing it, and you didn't learn the whole song, but what you did play, I was honestly really impressed. Mm. And then last weekend, you bring your ukulele and you were like, I have a surprise for Hector. Mm. And a while ago, I had given you tips on singing and playing an instrument. And I told you got to think about it as talking and playing first, doing those two things first. And so Beatrice told me like, oh, I have a surprise for Hector. And she started playing Riptide and talking during it. And, of course she wasn't singing, but she got that fundamental thing down. Exactly what I said. And I think that's just, like one of those things where you just have to go through with it.
Yeah, the learning curve is not fun. Like I would literally get so frustrated because I could not play or even hum at the same time. It was really hard, but it was like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I was studying and I needed a break, and I just picked up my uke and I was just lying on my bed and I was playing and I started humming and I started doing it at the same time. I was like, I'm like, it's working. And then it just kind of, it moved forward from there, So it became fun after I got it down.
Do you ever have one of those moments where you have a class and maybe there's so much information and, you're probably wondering like, am I actually learning this? But then there's those moments where maybe someone asks a question, you answer, and you're like, holy shit, I am learning it. That's how it was with me in guitar. For the longest time, I told you I learned incorrectly. And at first, I was like, I don't need to learn chords. I was learning these little riffs, and then eventually I started doing chords, and down the line I started doing singing. And that was like 4 or 5 years after I started playing guitar, at least. And even 5 years after I started playing guitar, I didn't think I was good. People said so, but I didn't see it. And then I remember one day playing something and singing and thinking, holy shit, I'm doing this. Like, I remember when I was like messing up and stuff, but it took me years to realize I'm good. I did a thing.
You did a thing.
I did a thing. And you're doing that with the ukulele. Mm-hmm. I think I would recommend anyone to learn an instrument. Mm-hmm. But I think more so in general, find a hobby.
Yeah.
Find something that you're not being graded on. Something that you don't have that deadline for. Something where you're just doing it just because you enjoy doing it. Mm-hmm. And you specifically said, Here Comes the Sun is very important to you. So that's even better too. Like you're choosing this song and you're sticking to it. Mm-hmm. And it means something to you.
Hopefully by the end of this year, I'll finish the rest of the song.
I can get you the other half order of wings.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes! I owe Beatrice a half order of wings.
It will be a full order of wings.
I forgot about that until you brought it up. And I keep telling you, when do you want it? But are you waiting for that full order? Or are you waiting for a day where you're like really hungry? You're going to hit me up. Hey, what are you doing? I didn't eat today. Wings sound good.
I'm waiting for the right time.
The right time.
Mm-hmm, for my wings.
Isn't it always the right time for wings?
Yeah, but sometimes it's always like you can make it better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Plus there's those moments. Wings is the kind of food where I think you need to be hungry.
No. We'll not debate about this. I'm not going to debate about this.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, I'm not going to talk. No.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And I told Beatrice I want to start cooking more. That's another thing I want to start doing this year. And I've been looking to recipes for buffalo wings. I want to start doing my own wings. Specifically hummus. That's one of my favorite things to eat. Mm-hmm. I want to make my own hummus. There's just little things that I want to do. Yes.
I want to learn how to make tiramisu. I love tiramisu.
If Daisy hears this, she's going to text, or she's going to mention it in the group chat immediately. That's one of her favorite things.
Because it's amazing. Whoever doesn't like tiramisu, like, how dare you?
Does Olive Garden have tiramisu?
I don't like Olive Garden.
No. The reason I'm asking is because Daisy would go to Olive Garden a lot recently. And I would tell her, like, oh, Olive Garden's so bad. And I would tell her this. And she'd be like, I only go for the tiramisu. And...
Okay, we're on desserts, like TGI Fridays. Like, I don't go to TGI Fridays a lot, but they have, like, okay, I also don't like cheesecake. I I don't like cheesecake.
Hey, Beatrice, the door's over there. Okay, you were saying. I have never. This is a look I have not gotten in like 20 minutes, so it says something.
They have the best vanilla bean cheesecake I have ever had in my life. Like
Vanilla bean, wow.
I don't know if the word in English, but like in Spanish, when I have cheesecake, like me empalaga.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't just eat cheesecake like that. But with like that vanilla bean cheesecake from TGI Fridays is so good. I can eat a bunch of it.
This is why we need video, because we do so many expressive things on this podcast. I have never seen you look so happy. So at peace right there.
It's bliss. It's like, yes, it's that.
Bliss in a dessert.
It's so good.
Uh-huh.
And I haven't had it in years. But that's just because I don't go to TGI Fridays.
We should try to make our own.
No.
Not too much work.
No, it's like, it's not as good if you make it yourself.
Well, how do you know if you haven't made it? It might be better.
No, it's okay. I think things are good when somebody else makes it for you. Like, if I make it, I'm like, yeah, okay. But like
that dinner you made today, it was delicious. No wonder it was so good.
Hector made me boil water. That's what he did today. No. We were supposed to cook together, and he made me boil water. And this man waving the knife everywhere.
Whoa!
And this man
throwing me under the bus.
You were literally just like, man, I wish this was a video. And you're like a robot, just you made me so upset.
Like, you even hit the mic. Oh my gosh, she looks upset. Like she's about to rub her temples. I've only seen teachers do that in middle school.
Yeah, I feel like I'm talking to a child. Like, how are you just waving a knife like that? Like, how dare you?
So Beatrice was coming over today. I told her, come hungry, I'm cooking dinner. And right before she was about to head over, I asked her, do you want to help or do you want this prepared when you get here? And she said, I'll help out. And so the rice was prepared already. I'd made that like a day or two ago. I'm not going to make my guest cook chicken. Like, that's me. I'm the host. I'm going to do that. I'm going to work on that. And then the only other thing was the carrots. So I told Beatrice, can you boil some carrots for me? And she was so offended. What did she say? Like, I feel like you don't trust me.
You made me boil water.
You didn't. Okay. Should I bring up that you were confused?
What? No, I wasn't. What are you talking about?
How do you boil this, Beatrice? Put in some water.
What are you talking about? No.
She was looking at an empty pot, confused.
Yes. That's not what happened.
She was like, what do I do? Get some water first, Beatrice.
That's not what happened.
And what happened?
I was just like, dude, never mind. I'm not, no.
You're like, damn, I can't make up a story right now.
That's not what happened.
But it was fun. We cooked dinner together.
You cooked. I boiled water.
Hey, those carrots were really good. Good job. You deserve a pat on the back. High five. Oh, you're
my monthly pay.
Monthly? Bi-weekly. We do bi-weekly fist bumps here.
I'm not getting paid enough.
You want another one? I've had you. I even told Jesse today, too. You can ask him. I said, I feel bad that she's the furthest from this studio. And I told him, that's why these last two times I've offered to cook for you. And I'm going to do that whenever you come over. Because I don't feel like I have to, but...
I don't live that far.
But you are the furthest. No, there we go.
Oh, yeah, I guess, I mean, all of your employees do live with you.
Don't say that. They don't know what this... I'm going to beep that out, too. We're keeping an illusion here, Beatrice.
Why?
Oh, why not?
What's so bad about them knowing?
Just trust me. I'll explain later. It's a writer's thing. What is this?
Eye roll.
So now you have to voice your eye rolls?
Yes.
Is that...
That's how the people are gonna know.
Oh my gosh. But we're already reaching on 50 minutes. Is there anything you wanted to say before we leave this episode behind us?
Don't cook with Hector.
Why? Because you'll boil water?
No, because he's gonna start flailing a knife at me anywhere.
Yeah. Okay, so let me get into this. No, actually, no, it's dangerous. No, that's not what I mean. Okay, so I gotta get into this because she's mentioning something. I gotta give some context. I dance a little and I get into the cooking.
You're
and
making it worse.
I start swaying and I do this thing where I have a butter knife and I'll spin it on my fingers like a drumstick. And today I was just dancing around and I was talking to Beatrice, but I was waving the knife. But she was a good 4 feet away.
The pointy end was literally like pointed towards me the whole time.
Don't say it like that.
That's what it felt like.
But like, at least you can know he's in a good mood. He's not gonna stab me. And there was a 4-foot gap. I told you.
It was like 3 feet.
If you're like inches away from you, I'm not gonna do that. Come on, I know better. Okay, there's that look. Okay, that tells me she doesn't believe me. There's no point doing this. This is like Pam does.
You deserve to be scolded like a child.
Okay. Is there anything you want to say before we get off?
That was it.
Okay, that is it. Plug the Instagram. You plug the Instagram. That's your job.
You didn't prepare me in advance.
You have one thing to focus on.
This isn't even my phone.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well you can still it's the same Instagram account, Beatrice. You can do it from my phone. I'll have you know. Oh, this is not a good start.
So, our Instagram account is savages.unscripted. Follow us.
Is there anything else you want to say about the Instagram? No, I'm just asking. I'm curious. Is there anything else you want to say? Because I want to know too.
Not right now, no.
All right. Follow us on TikTok, you guys. We are Savages Unscripted 6. There's no period there. My sister said it was tacky. So Savages Unscripted 6. We're on TikTok. We're going to start putting more information. Find us on Twitter. We're on there. Follow Dr. Hector on Instagram. I put stuff pertaining to the podcast at times. And I think this was a good episode, Beatrice. Not much yelling, but there was the the Bing search. What do you have against Bing?
Who uses Bing?
Well, okay, if Bing is a thing, obviously someone's using it. It's not just me. All right, so with that, you guys, we hope you have a lovely week. You guys can Bing us. We'll pop up. We're on.
I'm very doubtful right now.
We are on Anchor. We're on Spotify. Share us, you guys. Tell your friends about us. Tell your family. Tell your baby mamas about us, you guys. Have a great week, you guys. Goodbye. Beatrice says goodbye too.